Hey guys, what's going on? It's a Block Bull Wrap Out now, bringing you the latest episode to the channel now. We do have some amazing news right about now because the thing is, crypto is kicking off right about now, and we are about to dive into some fantastic charts here. So before we do so, we do have the crypto bubbles. We do have the news as well with FedWire confirming the implementation of ISO 222 messaging format, which is going live tomorrow, the 14th of July, for the FedWire Fund service. You can see here this was published back on the 18th of June, and we did know from the July the 14th that this will definitely be going ahead tomorrow. So here we go. This is the video that we've all been waiting for. We are going to absolutely explore now. Just check out these crypto bubbles right now. These are the weekly crypto bubbles. So we do have a ZBEC up there, up 30% on the week. HBAR is running away with it here, up 53.5%. The biggest gainer, though, is XLM, the sister or the brother to the one and only XRP. So XLM is outstripping the older brother, I would say, in this case. XRP, XLM, do you know what I mean? That's where it's at. XDC, 22%. Velo, look at this. Look at Stronghold as well, 42.7%. Gala, Xcn also doing tremendous as well. But in today's video, we will be focusing on Xcn. But before we do dive into the Xcn chart, we will be looking at this crypto chart here. So this is actually the crypto total market cap, excluding the top 10. So this doesn't account for the likes of Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, those type of coins, okay? Because we want altcoin season, yeah? Predominantly people will hold a little bit of XRP, I'd imagine. Certainly people that are into ISO tokens. However, I'm into XDC. XDC is massively undervalued. It's the lowest coin in terms of market cap amongst the ISO 222 family, okay, which we've just been looking at there. So XDC for me is a massive play right now, and this is, like I say, excluding the top 10 here. So we got this sort of trend line coming in here. So this was acting as this institutional supply line for me. So this is going back all the way to sort of December of 2022. We do have this sort of accumulation going on here, which is all highlighted with these sort of green circles here. We had another sort of liquidation spike down here towards that area of supply. Again, we did have sort of fake out. We had another sort of inverted sort of head and shoulder pattern now. So we are looking to get up to around this yellow line, which is coming in around sort of 450, 460. You know, I could come a bit lower down there to make it more accurate. But ultimately, it's this blue box we're looking at here. So this is 451 billion with a B in terms of the market cap. Okay, so what's looking to happen now for altcoins? We're looking to get up here. So we've still got another 60%, another 62% return on investment before the real excitement and euphoria kicks in now across the market. So this is going to be absolutely massive. I'm hoping this week when ISO coins do go live, that ISO messaging format, that will kickstart altcoin season. XRP is trading beautifully now. Well, obviously the top ISO token out there in terms of the market cap. XLM probably the biggest gainer in terms of ISO. I've not got Algorand in this watch list. I don't know how that's doing. But certainly on this particular watch list, XRP, or XLM should I say, is the biggest gainer for me. Now, let's dive into Xcn, because this is what we're all here for now, guys. We are here for the Congo, because this is what I've been talking about now for the past couple of weeks, and we have finally got this cheddar train on the move right about now. So here we go. We do have this symmetrical multi-month structure playing out, and this is what it's all about, guys. This is why we have been covering these charts for so long, and we've been quiet over the past couple of weeks during this sort of consolidation, because we knew exactly what was coming on, and I didn't want to come on here and repeat myself in terms of the obvious. Now, this is obviously doing the rounds of this particular structure on Xcn, and I'll probably be the first person, certainly one of the first YouTubers or big, well, I wouldn't even call myself a big account over on X. You know, we're approaching 16,000 followers over there. So I appreciate everyone that's followed me over on X. You guys that are subscribed to the channel as well will be well aware of this particular wedge pattern. And I love a wedge pattern because, you know, as soon as we get to these apexes, there's going to be a key decision to be made with Xcn. Now, we knew, especially with the sort of Fed meetings around this sort of time over the last couple of weeks. We thought that could be a catalyst. And I said to you guys, the Fed wire, if it's not the Fed wire, I'll be looking at the next interest rates come September. Now, I could see that this was coming to an apex. It was very, very evident in terms of the sort of candlesticks coming into this sort of apex. And I highlighted this numerous times for viewerships, okay, and we have arrived there. Now, this breakout actually occurred, I would say, Thursday, Friday of this week. So usually you'd say, you know, I like to proclaim, if we see a strong move on a Friday, I like to see that as a fake out Friday. But you know what? For me, this is not fake out because this has continued throughout the weekend. And the fact that we're still pumping here on a Sunday, that tells me we've got a bullish week to come, because usually Sunday sets the tone for the rest of the week. Now, this is going to be absolutely massive. So there's some key sort of targets that we need to sort of overcome first. So the one that springs out to me straight away is this sort of 2025 high, which is up at around 5 cents. So this is where I want this sort of price action to move. Now, I believe it could be as I could imagine this being actually attained over this next week, if not over the next couple of weeks. During July, we will see a 5 cent there or thereabouts. And if that is the case, we are on for some massive, massive gains. And for me, we will be targeting this sort of previous all-time high around sort of 19 cent 3 for Xcn. So you know what, guys? It's not too late. So you guys that are new to Xcn, you've basically saved all yourself, all this pain around this sort of section here, especially from the end of January when we got all that down bleed. I remember people, I don't know if I had the Discord around that point, but certainly over on X, people that's following me over on X, simply, you know, just to sort of track Xcn, see where we was in terms of price action. We've suffered some serious blood in the market. You know, we've had a little bit of joy here where we've got that sort of rally up, and these rallies do not last long, guys. Look at this rally. It lasted 3 candles, so that's 3 days worth of positive price action. So for the majority of crypto, you're actually trading sideways or a slow bleed, which is what this has done. So it's very, very painful. Crypto is very difficult. And this is why sometimes I do sort of encourage people to sort of step away from the markets, step away from the charts. And that's exactly what I've done in sort of recent weeks, because I knew the inevitable was coming and I didn't want to repeat myself in terms of the YouTube videos, because I do only predominantly I won't say I promote them because I'm not paid in any shape or form from the Onyx team, okay, or Zbeck. It's just that people like you guys want to see these particular charts. Like I say, there's plenty of other content creators on the large caps, for example, like XRP. I'd love to cover, you know, some other altcoins. Maybe I'll start covering some like XDC as well, one of my favorite picks. I'll have to find a little niche anyway amongst these sort of cryptos that I do think will do tremendously well over here in this sort of upcoming cycle. But for you guys, we are looking at a sort of 5-wave Elliot wave. So we're going to plot the Elliot wave and we're going to see where this third wave is coming out for you guys. Okay, so the good news is we do have sort of wave 1. And again, what I'll do is I'll sort of plot this in terms of, I'll just plot it in a simplified way anyway. So the first thing that we need to do in terms of visiting targets is sort of visit this sort of recent, well, I say recent, it's the all-time high as it stands. And what we'll do is we'll just plot the fibs as it is. So key areas of interest where I'm going to be looking at is obviously the 19 cent level. So this is this grey level here, all-time highs. And then what we'll do is we'll just duplicate that. So the next level above there, in terms of a macro standard point of view, this is going to be absolutely massive. So this, I would imagine, the 1618 level, this is a possibility during this cycle. So I'm not saying it's going to happen anytime soon. There will be sort of short to medium term targets that I'm also going to plot in this video, guys. So make sure to smash that like button, make sure to subscribe as well, and click that notification bell if you want to be kept up to date with all of the checkpoints. So, like I say, we've got these 2 lines in that I've inserted here. So these are the macro sort of key targets that I would be looking at. So if you are sort of swing trading month to month, these would be the key targets. Obviously, 19 cent will be a key target, and also $6.25. I do believe that is achievable in this cycle. And if we do make we could go over to, I'm not actually logged into the tab at this moment, but if you go onto the website, market cap of, you can actually compare what XRP did in the 2017-18 run where we ran up over 60,000%. And you can compare the all-time high of XRP to XCN, and that there stipulates that XCN is more than possible, is more than adequate. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Help me out in the comment section. What I'm saying is $6.25 is more than achievable for XCN in this cycle. And a lot of people will be like, you know what? I've got people in the Discord saying I'm happy with a 2x. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, you guys can write off XCN all you like, but you know what? I'm confident XCN can reach some high figures. Even if we don't do 625, there's still the sort of micro fibs that we can plot. Okay, so the micro fibs are, if we go from this sort of recent high or 2025 high and plot it down here, which is around here. Again, we've got this sort of 1618, which sort of is around that sort of all-time high of XCN. So what I'm going to do is, because these two lines are very, very close to one another, this is coming in around 16 cents. So 16 to 19 cent would be a good sort of place. It's definitely certainly a check mark for me to consider taking profits. Now, people are going to be saying, well, if you think it's going to go to 625, why are you not letting it run? Because I don't know how much you've got in your portfolio. Everyone's got different targets. Everyone's got a different risk profile. So if you've got a lot of money in XCN, I'll certainly be taking profits around 16 to 19 cent. Yeah. So that's a massive amount. So this for me would be an order block here. So if we was to run up, even from current price action, even though we got going, you're still looking at a 10x. So if you've got 100k invested in XCN at this point, would you be taking $1 million? Of course you probably will. You will be taking some form of profit, surely. However, this micro red fib level, which is the sort of furthest extension you can go, is coming in around $1.03. So that could well be the cycle top for XCN this cycle. I believe this will be completed, in my personal opinion. I do believe this is a super cycle. So for me, I would say $1 is probably most likely. I'd put my hat in the ring and put my neck on the line. I would probably say, statistically, I would say I am 90% sure we will see $1 there or thereabouts this cycle. We are pretty much guaranteed. Yeah, I would say 90%. Yeah, I'm not going to say guaranteed, because that signals 100%, and you'll get some trolling comment section saying you said it was going to $1. Do you know what I mean? So I've got to cover my ass as always, because there's always some trolls that always has something to say. Yeah, I never see them making any content. So $1 for me is gonna happen. It's as simple as that, guys. So that doesn't necessarily mean hold on to $1. Yeah, you want to be taking some sort of what we're going to do as well, guys. I'm just going to mark that in there as well, because that for me is a sort of significant level, and it's a psychological level as well at $1. So what I'd be looking at doing, guys, you guys that have been following me have been tracking the Elliot wave. So we've got the 1. We've got the 2. This has been a real prolonged 2 now over the past 6-7 months. And then what we'll be doing is going into wave 3. Okay. So that's what I would imagine, I could imagine something like this playing out. Something along these lines. Now, people would be extremely happy if this happened. Now, typically, this wave 1, wave 3 here is typically double the length of wave 1. Okay, now this wave 1 is absolutely huge. This wave 1, believe it or not, I believe it was about a 20x. Now this is why people are onto XM, because it moved in an absolute parabolic form. Okay, so you can see there, if I just measure up 50%, and what I'm looking to do is basically double wave 1, and then what we tend to do is sort of measure that from wave 2. Now that's typically where that comes out, and look at where wave 5's coming out. That's basically wave 5. I don't think we're going to get a massive sort of wave 3. Typically, it is double the length in size, but according to Elliot wave theory, it doesn't have to be double. So I can see some form of sort of retracement is what I'm saying, because we would need that corrective wave 4 before we see that sort of blast off to wave 5. So I wouldn't be surprised if XCN hits $6 in this cycle, guys. Now, you know what? XCN could go absolutely parabolic and do something like this. We could go flying all the way up here during this next move. Again, guys, it doesn't have to happen instantaneously. It's going to take months and months and months to play out, guys, okay? I would imagine going into sort of at least September before we see the rate cuts. So I'll be looking at October, November before we see the sort of peak of wave 3. Now, initially, this is important. Initially, I did think this altcoin season was going to be over by sort of October of this year. But there is a strong chance, if I don't see a corrective wave, that this cycle could well spill into the year of 2026. So we need to pay attention to this corrective wave. So what I'm saying is, guys, if we only see $1 as the peak of wave 3, and then we see a large sort of capitulation back down to about sort of 20 cent level, then we need to be aware of this, guys, because that is a hefty. Yeah, if you're going from $1 all the way back down to 20 cent, that's an 80% correction, and we've seen 80% corrections through this sort of wave 2 move down here. Yeah, I remember it because I was in it. Yeah, 86% retracement. So we know Xcn can make these heavy retracements, and the last thing you want to be doing is losing money around $1, retracing back down to 20 cent before we do get a sort of parabolic blow off top, which will probably happen. That wave 5 will probably happen in sort of 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, but we don't know how long this slow bleed's going to happen for. Yeah, because it'll probably do something like a wave 2. Do you know what I mean? So it could be something along these lines. So all I'm saying is to you guys, subscribe to the channel and I can keep you up to date. So for me, on the macro point of view, I would be looking at sort of $1. We have got many hurdles to overcome, but certainly it's exciting times for Xcn, regardless if I'm right or wrong in terms of the final sort of prediction with $6, say $6.20. I forget what it is now, $6.25, whatever it is for Xcn. Whether I'm wrong or I'm right, if you're hitting $1 from these prices, we're currently trading under 2 cent. If you're not happy with a 50x to $1, you need to give your head a wobble. Do you know what I mean? If you're trolling over 50x, you should still be happy. So I know not everyone's going to be happy because everyone's greedy. Everyone wants exactly near enough the top. It's impossible to capture tops. All we can do is take a look at these chart patterns playing out, guys. Anyway, I'm out of breath because I do no editing whatsoever. All this has been from start to finish. This has just been me giving my take on it all. So anyway, I'm going to close it out there, guys. I've been the Block Bull. Until next time, the Block Bull is out.